Alrighty, we have a fuse box here that's not quite up to code. Here in the country I was born in, we use 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps, 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, and 10 American wire gauge on 30 amps. 14 gauge is the lightest wire, 12 is heavier than 14, and 10 is heavier than 12. So here in the country I was born in, black is live, white is neutral. The bare or the green is the ground, and red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a switch loop or a 222 40-volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. So I'll show you how to straighten out this fuse box. It's a huge mess. Alright, so we'll take the cover off our box here. And you can see we have quite a big mess in here. So we'll get this taken apart and straightened out. You can see all the 30 amp fuses. Okay, so we'll unscrew all our fuses here. And we're going to rewire this box so it's all nice and neat and up to code. Here's a black wire on the neutral bar. Now white wire is up on the fuse, and that's not proper. We get all these fuses out of here. See that black wire on the neutral bar? That is backwards. And see the white on the fuse up there? That is backwards. And here's that black wire that was down here on the neutral from that circuit, and it does not belong down there on the neutral. This black wire wasn't even under the screw all the way. As you could have seen in the picture. Some of these circuits do not have a ground. And we have one that's not being used. So we'll get all our wires up out of our way here. We'll take our ground wires all off here. Okay, well there's some paper in here we'll get out of here. And we can use one of those screws for this white wire that's in here. So we have this to put all our ground wires in. Oops, I gotta get my needle nose. Just gonna make sure there's no power coming up to these terminals here because I shut this off down in the cellar. Okay, so we'll make our loop the direction our screw is going to turn. Throw it on the screw down in here. Close our loop the direction the screw turns. Okay, I'll put this back into our box. We'll get all these wires untangled from here. These wires are all tangled around everything, so I'm going to untangle them all. I want to get this in the back, get up and out of the way so it's nice and neat. I want these wires around so that they're nice and neat. Get our red wire back out of the way here. Get that white one back out of our way. We'll get these wires out of our way here. black one under here. Now we can get this black main wire back in here out of our way. So now we can start putting everything all back together again. So we'll get all our ground wires. We'll get them all down here. The white wires about the way here. Bring them all down towards the, get them all in the back here. This one back out of our way. So one straight, get them all straightened up here. I'm just making what was here better, because this should have an isolated neutral bar. Okay, so we'll get all our ground wires together here. Get our insulation even at the bottom here, we'll twist them together. Get our other insulated one in here. Put this one in here. And we'll get this one in here. I'm going to strip these green ones back a little bit because they're a little short. So I want to make sure I get all of them together under that lug there. Oh, they are all pretty long. What I needed to do is get them a little straighter. I'll get this one in here. I'll get this one in here. Okay, I'll get them all twisted together here. I'll clip them so they're even with the shortest one right there. Well, I need my screwdriver and I can't get my hands on it. But oh, no, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to open this lug up and I'm going to put all of our ground wires into this lug here. This back in here a little bit better. Push this up in here. Make sure they're all coming up through there. And we'll tighten this lug up. And we'll push our wires all back in here so they're nice and neat. Okay, now we'll start bringing our white wires. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white wires. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. So we can go to this one make sure we don't get our insulation caught under the screw head there. Tighten that up. That back out of our way here. We'll bring our other wire down here. Our other white one will come down. Get right on the back here. We'll come up. Get around that top screw up here. Okay, we make our loop the direction the screw turns. We'll put our wire around the screw. We'll close our loop. Make sure it's tight. There's our white wire there. We have this one we gotta get in here. Bring it down, push it back. Bring it down. We'll get it up around this screw up here. Let it lay, you don't frustrate. Make your loop the direction that the screw turns. Close our loop the direction the screw turns here. Close our loop around the screw there. It's nice and tight. Get it tucked in down here out of our way. Okay, we have another white one. We gotta get this one over here. We get up on that screw up here. Okay, I'll make a loop the direction our screw turns here. Put my wire around the screw, and I'm going to close it around the screw before I put it in so I have something to hold the screw so I don't lose it. Make it nice and tight. Put our wires back out of the way. We have one more white wire to get in here. Strip it nice and long so I have enough wire to go around the screw. Get it all the way around the screw like that. So now I have all my white wires around the screws all the way. And now we can push this wire back and get it all out of our way here. Now we can start hooking our wires back up to our fuses here. So we'll put our top one up here. Make our loop the direction the screw turns. I'm going to use my screwdriver to get the wire to go around the screw here. So I won't be able to get my pliers in there. There, I got it around the screw all the way. Okay, and I make sure my insulation's not under the screw head, so I'm going to get my next one up here. Okay, I'll make a loop the direction my screw is going to turn here. I'll make it a little easier and just take my screw out. I'll put the wire around the screw. Close it around my screw all the way. Make sure our wire is under the screw head all the way around. Okay, we got one more on this side. We'll just go put a corner, bring it around, and we'll make a nice loop here. Oh, I'll pick it up. I'm not going to frustrate. Heavenly Father knows what he's doing. Okay, now we'll put our wire around the screw here. Close our loop all the way around the wire. And we'll get it back in here. Okay, I'm just making sure I don't get the insulation under the screw head there. Push that wire back. Now we have our last two to hook up. So we'll use this one and the middle one. Okay, so I will make my strip here. Make my loop to go around the screw the direction our screw turns. It's easier to put the wire around the screw outside the box in this case here because it's kind of a tight spot in there. So I'll put it in like that, make my bend. Okay, now we'll do our last one. We'll bring it down, we'll come up. We'll go on this last top, on the middle one here. So we'll take this middle screw out. Okay, I'll make a loop the direction that my screw is going to turn here. Close the loop around the screw the direction that the screw. Okay, I gotta make that a little different here because I don't want to get the insulation under the screw head. There we go. Close it around the screw all the way like that there. That's how you want it. Make sure that you don't get any of the insulation under the screw head, and we'll put it into our box. Okay, so now we have our fuse box all wired, so I'll just go through and make sure all my screws are tight. Make sure I don't have any insulation under the screw heads. And I'll just make sure my power coming in is tight. tight. Now I'll bring the camera up close and show you all done. There it is, all rewired. There's how I put the wires around the screws. Here's the fuses that we bought. You can see the 20 amps are orange, 15 amps is blue, and the 30 amp is green. Okay, so now we can put our fuses in. We'll put a 20 in the blank we're not going to be using. These two wires are 14 gauge down here, so we put a 15 on these. We'll put a 20 on this one. That's number 12 over here. This one is number 12. And we'll put another 20 on the other number 12 wire. So now we can go down in the cellar and turn the breaker on for this fuse box. Okay, so now we can put our cover back on here with the proper size fuses on all of our circuits. Close our little latch there, and we'll tighten this up. Alrighty, so that is how to properly rewire a fuse box here in the country I was born in. Peace. Thanks for watching.